Hi, my name's Melissa and welcome back to my writing channel, Hopeful Happenings. I'm so excited about today's video because today I'm revealing the cover of my middle grade fantasy adventure, Sea of Kings. So without further ado, here it is! I died when I saw this cover. I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely exceeded my expectations. I was really worried about the cover because I know a lot of people do judge a book by its cover, whether that's fair or not. And especially because it's for kids, I wanted it to be something that was exciting and just would grab their attention and make them be like, whoa, I want to read that book. It's so cool to see this cover just out in the world. I've been dying to show you for months, and now I finally get to, and you finally get to see a little bit more about my main characters, Noah and Dagon. They're brothers, they're princes, and this is a huge part in the beginning of the book. This is like the inciting incident if you're a writer, and if you're not a writer, it's just the point where there's no more, the point of no return. It's where they leave the comfort of their home and have to go out and venture into the unknown. If you've been keeping up with me on social media, then you probably have already seen this cover, which is awesome. And if you haven't entered the giveaway, there's a giveaway to receive an ARC, which is an advanced reader copy. It's a copy of the book before the book is published, and you can win an ARC by going to Young Adult Books Central. Their website has the giveaway there. And I'll have all of that linked down below for you. Definitely want to check it out, especially if you don't want to wait till December when the book actually comes out, because that seems like forever away for me. Getting to be a part of the cover is not always something that an author can do, especially with bigger companies. Often the author does not get a say in what the cover will be, or they'll get very minimal say. And that was not the case for this cover. I was with Jellyfish Press, they're the publisher, and they were so open to letting me give feedback, and I was right there with every step of the way. So I'm actually going to run through the entire process from the beginning idea to the sketches to the final copy. So how many of you have a Pinterest account? I definitely do. I've had one for years, and what was really cool about this process was one of the first things that the publisher asked me to do was to go on Pinterest and just start collecting images that I liked. Some that maybe they were other covers, maybe it just was the feel of a cover I wanted, maybe it was the colors, and just anything aesthetics board. I always have trouble saying that word, but a Pinterest aesthetics board. Aesthetics board. I can't say it, but that's what I was making. I was making a board that just was like a collage of all the ideas or feelings of a cover I wanted. Then they sent me an official cover direction Word document which had all the questions they wanted to ask me, and I was supposed to fill it out and send it back. So here's some things that they asked me. They wanted to see what other covers I liked and why. So I made a collection of different middle grade book covers that I liked and what about it I enjoyed. For example, I really liked having characters on there, but I also I felt like I gravitated toward darker blues and reds and yellows as highlight colors. I collected all these images that I liked, and I just found patterns, and I explained what I liked about it. They also wanted to know if I would prefer photographs versus illustrations, and I definitely wanted an illustration. I also was able to share that I really enjoy covers that use text as part of the artwork. And so I collected some covers that had that and showed them examples of that. Then I made a collection of covers I didn't want. And these are not to say that I didn't like them for that book. It's just something that I didn't want for mine. Once I had all of that, I was allowed to create concept ideas if I had anything in mind of what I would like. And one of the concept ideas I did have was to have an action scene in the book played out on the cover. This is actually pretty common in middle grade novels, and so that's why I felt comfortable suggesting it, because it's something that definitely could be used with my book. My book has tons of epic action scenes, and so I made a list of some of the ones that we could use on the cover. Then they asked me to include things that were in the book, just miscellaneous things, and also things that would not be in the book. And for example, I said anything technology-wise above 1800s should not be in the book. And the last thing they asked me to do on this cover direction was to give a character profile of my main characters and my villain. So this included their age, their body build, their hair color, their facial features, any distinguishable features or anything on their body, their clothing. I could provide pictures. I had tons of pictures on there. I even put a video up and said, like, think of Swiss Family Robinson, and that is totally what I have imagined for these boys. With all that in the document, I sent it away to the publisher, and the next thing that I got back from them was a decision. They had decided they loved the idea of putting an action scene on the cover, and they agreed that it was definitely what other middle grade novels do, and so we chose between two different scenes. So I was next going to tell them everything that went on in the scene. Who was in the scene, what the setting looked like, what was going on in the scene, and I did it for both of them. And of course I had tons of pictures to go with it, and I even went as far as to going on Paint and like creating a little island layout, like a map, because I knew that the island could be in the cover, so I wanted to make sure that they got everything correct in the landscape. So that was cool. After I completed the second cover direction, I sent it off to them and I waited. They actually came back to me sooner than expected with a rough sketch, and I will tell you, as soon as I saw the rough sketch, I literally, like, my mouth dropped. I was just like, oh, instant love. Like, and it was just rough pencil sketches. I'll show you it right here. Immediately I was in love, and I could finally see what this cover could be like, and it was just so cool, and it also made the book feel more real because things were finally starting to have like visuals to go with it. Of course, I told them I loved it. I wanted to go ahead with this sketch. The next thing that they sent me was an updated, more detailed image of the cover. And they kept asking me, every time they sent me an email, they asked for my input, what I liked, what I didn't like, was there anything I wanted to change? And with this second sketch, I loved it. I was even more impressed, but there was something that stood out to me, and it was that Noah, who is my main character, looked way too confident for his personality. So I let them know that he's supposed to be actually pretty freaked out in this moment. His brother, however, is the one that is loving life, thinking this is the coolest thing ever, and that's why they're so funny, because they're complete opposites. And I really wanted to get their personalities on the cover. And just like magic, I gave them my suggestions, and the illustrator, who is amazing, gave me another copy, and it had those adjustments. And then after that, they decided to go ahead with making a colored version of the cover. To see the book with color was another one of those moments where it was like, this is real, this is happening, and I loved it. I had a few suggestions. For example, the hair color of Noah is supposed to be red, and it wasn't. We'd forgotten to make it red, so we switched that. But honestly, there was not much to change after I saw it in color. It was beautiful, and it was honestly better than anything I could have ever come up with on my own. So I want to give a shout out to the designer and illustrator of this cover, which is, and I hope I don't butcher your names, Sophie Geister Jones. She designed the cover, and Juan Manuel Moreno, who was the illustrator. And of course, thank you to my editors who gave me tons of freedom in sharing what I wanted for my cover. I really, 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 really love it, and I hope you guys love it too. If you haven't already read the full summary of Sea of Kings, it is up on my Instagram. You can go view that now. And don't forget to enter the giveaway for the free advanced reader copy of Sea of Kings on the Young Adult Book Central website. And all those links are down below. I post once a week on YouTube and I post daily on Instagram, sharing writing tips there and giving you more insights on the debut, Sea of Kings. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a week of writing content. We'll see you next week. Bye!